Let's do example number 1 together. So now, what's the easiest way to do this, huh? Well, I would suggest that you get out your handy dandy calculators and just plug the data in. So what we could do is just turn on our calculator and see this little button that says Stat? Click that. See where it says Edit? Now, what I'm going to do is I know I have lots of information in my list because I've been using my calculator a lot for my calculus class. So before I even begin, I'm going to clear out my list, right? So I'm going to, if I hit number 4, clear list, hit enter. Oops, it won't let me do it. Oh, what is wrong? Well, I was trying to show you something. Looks like we'll have to clear it by hand. Or maybe I could clear L1, L2, right? So let's do it that way and see if I can get it that way. By the way, if you accidentally erase, let me show you that so we could take care of that. We could do everything at once, all right? So I'm going to go into Edit, all right? And let's say I got a bunch of numbers in there. And I go, oh, I want to clear this list real quick before Mr. Adams begins because, you know, I don't want to get behind because he talks so fast. How do I clear the list? Well, I go up till L1 is highlighted, right? And I'm supposed to hit clear. But what happens sometimes? Sometimes students hit delete. Oh, where'd it go? It is gone. L1 is no more. Do you see it? No, I don't. It's gone. It's never coming back. So then every day somebody will come to me, Mr. Adams, I lost L1. I don't know how I did it. It's okay. You hit delete instead of clear. So how do I get L1 back? Do you guys want to know? I don't believe you. Do you really want to know? Come on, let's get pumped up. We're going to get L1 back. All right, so what you do is you go back to Stat. And if you select number 5, which is Setup Editor, it'll delete everything that you have, but it starts it over. It's like a default reset for your data plot information for your list. So if I choose this, what it does is it clears everything, but it brings L1, L2, L3, anything that you've deleted on accident, but if you have information in there, it will delete that too. So it's like you're starting fresh. It's like a reboot for the stat data portion of your calculator. So now when I go into Stat, if I hit Edit, L1's back. Now, I can't guarantee that it'll always keep the information. There's a pretty good chance that you'll lose it. All right, now that I've done that. So here's how you're really supposed to clear it. Go up to L1 and then hit the clear button. Notice that it says L1 equals, then hit enter, and it cleared out the data in L1. It didn't delete L1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in all the x values. So the first x value is 3. Somebody read the rest of them to me. 5. Okay, next one is 9. What's the next one? 12. Somebody's paying attention. And the last one is 15. And for those of you at home, we're just going through these right here. And then so now I'm going to do L2. What's the first value? 6, 10, 14, and 18, and 24, and 30. Now what I can do is if I hit graph, it doesn't show it. Why? Because the numbers are bigger than what my graph is. So I could do a couple of things. One, I got to turn on my stat plot. So if I go second, y equals, notice that it's off. So I want to turn that on. So I'm going to hit enter. Highlighted or blinking is the word on. If I hit enter, then I've turned that plot on. By default, it should have a scatter plot, but you could do other types of plot. But this is what we want as a scatter plot. By default, it should pull up L1 for your x values, L2 for your y values, and then you could choose the different cursors. I'm going to come down here and make the little cross mark here. I don't know, I'm just feeling spunky today. Now if I hit graph, I could see part of them. Now, there's an option if you go to zoom. If I hit zoom stat, it'll zoom in based on the data in the stat plot. So if I do this, there we go. It looks pretty linear, so I have to choose which option. Which one do you think looks closest to the data that I've selected? Is it this graph? No. Is it this graph? No. Is it this graph? Maybe, we don't know. We'll have to zoom out a little bit. Is it this graph? This graph? This graph? This one? What about this one? Yeah. Maybe. I gotta zoom out and see. It looks like here is my X and Y axis. I don't know. So I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit, because really the difference between I want to zoom out just a little bit. Where does it look like it crosses at? So how do I do this? Well, look at this. Look, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. What is this? This is how we determine which answer it is, okay? It's based on the window settings, all right? So we have two straight lines. This is what my graph looks like. If I enter in other words, if I come in here and enter my window settings, this is the X dimensions and these are the Y dimensions. So if I enter in -1 to 16, and then I come down here for my Y value and I enter in -9 or -1 to 9, I'm setting the window settings similar. I should get the exact same window, right? So I'm going to hit enter, and now I'm going to hit graph. Well, that doesn't work, does it? I really thought it was this one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reset the window to these settings, all right? And so if I hit graph, or if I go in and hit window, and I go from -3 to 18, and then I go from -2 to 32. And now if I hit graph, which one is it? This choice here. Do you see what I did? Do you know what you're doing? Are you guys experts?